Welcome to this week's Aelita Diaries, where the filler is what you review, which you are what you eat. That's the overall theme of this week's episode, Tidal Wave. And boy, does it reek of filler. Filler, filler, filler. What's the Xana attack? A giant food monster. Granted, using some old horror movie shorthand and some clever tricks, the food monster is an actual threat in this episode. But what's the B plot? Well, I'd be hungry and can't get any food. Plus, everybody in the school is on a vegetarian diet. Though odd subplot is not even funny. It's terrible and avoidable. If not for the food monster, none of the real world stuff would even give a damn. As for Ryoko, though, that is a lot more interesting. Xana tries to make another assault at Ryoko's core zone. To facilitate a distraction, he raises the water level in the digital sea. Thus, the reference to the title. Sadly, it doesn't wave as much as it goes up and up and up. Even drowning out walkways and even the towers themselves. Although we find out that the sectors, including the towers, are not affected by the digital sea like dropping monsters and or virtual people are. Good to know. It's pretty dang dangerous. And it's up to Aelita making 2 trips to pull this off. One trip to Sector 5 to undo the rising tides, and the other to deactivate the Tower of the Week. See, this episode is filler-centric and fillerific. This almost feels like a Season 1 episode, so that now, because of the Season 3 tech, actually exists. This episode is largely throwaway, as Odd, even in his super hungry state, can manage to fight off an entire monster assault in the core zone by himself. Does he get food for the reward? Nope. He gets a return trip to live out the entire day all over again and still being hungry. It doesn't further the plot introduced in Ryoko -1 last week. It doesn't further anything. This episode is just an episode. And it's not even an interesting one. Another 2 out of 6. This thing has nothing. Literally nothing. No good jokes. One very interesting Xana attack. So much so that they bring back the eye camera from Teddy Godzilla for the first time since that episode. Even down to reusing the heartbeats when the teddy bear was possessed. I mean, that's really the only interesting tidbit in this episode. This episode is watchable, especially if you like the one-off filler stuff that Ryoko has, and trust me, considering how bad this main plot is, you're gonna need it. And speaking of that, if you click to the video of the left of the end card, you'll see how I would have fixed Season three's main plot line in all of its terrible glory. And of course, on the right, you'll get a playlist from last season. That'll change to this season, just in case you need a little bit of catch up. No double upload this week in terms of the Aelita Diaries, but seeing that Friday is a special day, especially for me, I might open up the veil a little bit. And for one of the first and only times on this channel, get a little bit personal. No, I'm not quitting. Not by a long shot. But I am getting a little old. So I'm going to take this time to get personal with you. But that's on Friday. Until next week when we talk about False Lead. Hopefully something will get interesting. Now you're starting to understand why it's the 13 Ghost. Find peace in your own nirvana. I'll see you next week.